once. So, now you see, blah. Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination works backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be.
Is this just repeating the...
there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago?
So it's
which
a
is
loop?
why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's probably really
We've
is a
eaten too
loop,
much and it
huh?
can't be just yet. No, until
Good observation.
245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction.
Oh, you're back.
I don't know where this
You were
game
only
comes out, which
frozen in
voice
time for a
doesn't
few
it?
minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal
But if I
flourishes
know where
and
this
lengthy
game, you know, it
ruminations
comes of
on
every
the nature
choice.
of choice in video
Kinda?
games. Of course,
A lot
I
of the
happen to
time it's
believe it was
just-
perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I
Three
had to
choices.
describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them.
Oh,
Okay, at first
this
I
is
was leaning
painful.
towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle
This is
around
another
and
loop.
slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise,
Okay,
manifesto.
this gonna be
Treatise,
repeating
manifesto.
endlessly.
Treatise, manifesto. 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 Treatise,
Okay, I guess this is a loop
manifesto.
again.
Treatise, manifesto. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this. They'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if
That's
one
a
can change
reviewer's
their review
name,
in
huh?
the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
No subtitles? Wait. I think, yeah, I probably have to press the escape button again. It's just not gonna be anything new.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Wow,
It's not
really?
unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been
Oh, the
aptly
door is
demonstrated,
gone.
and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is
I
done
can't
for
even
you to be able to
sprint.
leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
I think it's just gonna be silence again. Yeah. Should I wait or, I mean, it might just... I don't think anything's gonna happen really. Okay.
Stanley! Stanley!
I
Stanley,
knew
please
it.
don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room.
That's a
Stanley,
fire
the
alarm.
door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that
Is that
sooner or
saying
later,
what?
no matter how much I plead with you,
I
you're
kinda
going
want to
press
hear the
button
full
again. Why
dialogue,
would
though.
you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever
Imagine
says
being the
about
person
me.
who
The
wrote
merest
the
mention
review.
of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a
I'm playing
child.
this part.
Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it
Is this
ever
a
really
loop
matter?
again?
But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child.
Okay, this is
Wild and
actually still
impulsive. I
new.
can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to
Wait.
change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment.
It's a loop.
Does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening.
Yeah, it
if
really
only
is
I'd
the
held-
loop.
Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Oh my God.
Back. Oh my goodness. I have
Plant has
someone to
died.
talk to again.
I can't see
Stanley,
the
I
clock.
think it's been a week. Or 2.
Oh my God.
I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always
Wait.
been, right? Me talking, and you saying nothing.
Is that really a
Would
door?
you think that it's exactly
There's
the
something
same
open.
always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll
Yes,
burn
light
my
bulbs
story
are
to the
all
ground.
dead
One
except
single
this
thing I
one.
need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction.
I did
Was
hear
I
a
scared
door.
of that all along? Perhaps. Yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments,
not
the
sure.
emptiness folds itself outward in between.
I don't think it's gonna do anything really. This is more just a game feature. I mean, standard game feature to turn volume off. Oh wait!
Means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Okay. Okay, I guess that's a part of the dialogue. Narration, I guess, because it's you don't talk
Hello,
back.
it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible. The spaciousness, equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid, as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Okay. All right. What now? No, it's just silence. Somehow I can still see without any light source. Other than this button. I guess the only choice is to press it again. I think it's the sound those things would make if they are out of battery. Jeez. Still nothing. I think the clock has fallen off as well from the wall. Yeah, it's completely stopped.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, "Entertain us." It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, "He's talking too much," they said. "First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world." As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, "Oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it." And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves.
Oh my God.
We would turn to look at our deeper nature
Let's get into
and find a
real.
resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In
this
effect,
is
we have
too
demanded
real.
that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think. To feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me.
Wow.
Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amuse them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed.
I think we listened to
teeth
everything.
Entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First...
But yeah, that was kind of existential crisis inducing. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to live on without entertainment. I suppose for gamers. Demand the entertainment to have all the take all the attention away. I suppose, and okay, this part is also just emptiness.
The end
Silence.
is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never
Oh
the
my God.
end, is never the 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 end, is never
Okay.
the end, is never 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 the
There's some
end, is never the end,
water dripping from the ceiling.
is never the end, is never the end, is never the
Yeah.
end, is never the end.
Who
is
knows
never
how
the
long it's
end,
been?
is never the end, is
If
never
each
the end,
button
is never
press
the
is
end, is never the end,
skipping
is never the
longer and
end,
longer,
is never the end, is never the end, is
skipping
never the
forward
end,
for
is never the end, is never the end,
longer and
is never
longer.
the end,
Okay,
is
let's
never
see.
the end.
Is this gonna be silence again? Okay, more water starting to drip through the ceiling. I think this room is gonna collapse some point. It's really dead. Oh my God, this is kind of scary. Yeah, I think the roof just collapsed. Yeah, it collapsed and I still don't have anywhere I can go. I mean, this part of the floor is completely blocked. Oh! This light again. Okay, this part is still blocked. Still nowhere I can go. god. I'm sorry. There's even some fruits on those trees. But then nothing else I can interact with, so... Oh my god, it's dark again. Oh my god. Ah! Oh, they doesn't jump scare me, seriously. Please don't. Is the button dead? I think so. Oh my god, it's not. It lit up, but it lit up again. What is this sound? But then there's nothing still. Huh? Okay, the button finally broke. Looks like the whole foundation has... yeah. Oh my god. There's an invisible wall to prevent me from walking on top of the roof. That's it? Wait. I guess that was one of the new endings, huh? Jeez.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
But yeah, what do you guys think? There was a lot of existential dread in that ending. I would say. Jeez. Yeah, I know, right? I was wishing I could go somewhere, like...
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh my god. It's actually quite impressive, like... Yeah, just look at this neon light. Do you think I should keep going with the new content, or... go this way?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on
Okay,
his
this is the old content. So I'm
Yet there
assuming
was
like
not a single person here
you
either.
won't get anything
Feeling
new
a
if
wave
you.
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
But yeah, it just says new content.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
Yeah, let's
office.
see if we just finish the game normally with the most. Wait, money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Yeah, let me just finish the game normally once. Get through the normal ending and see. I don't suppose there will be anything new.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody.
I forgot the
He
code.
began wildly tearing through
Frankly.
papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Okay, he just told me. Wait.
Stanley just sat
This
around
piano just
twiddling his
making
thumbs.
keyboard
Trying
sounds.
to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
But yeah, these seem to be all just the original game. It's nothing new here. Let's just keep going and see.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, we're just gonna go with the most simple.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find
This
out?
is so standard, this ending.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
But yeah, I was thinking it's getting late for you guys, probably. if I should keep going with the new content next time.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley
should
really been
I,
under someone's control all this
do
time?
another one?
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
get another
That his
ending
emotions
in
had
the new
been
content?
manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life
is
in
really
someone else's control? Never.
This really just
It was
old
unthinkable.
content.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with
You want me
emotions.
to keep going?
Happy or sad
Right.
or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Let's just finish this one, and I don't suppose there's anything new added to those old endings. So yeah.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go.
This is
what
the
to
most
do, or
standard
how to
ending in this game.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now,
Yes,
that
so I guess
things
nothing
were
new
meant to
really.
happen. And Stanley was happy.
the achievement says beat the game. Yeah, it's really standard stuff. Nothing new.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
I guess just keep going with this then.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I wonder if this new content, this new ending, these new endings are all linear paths. I mean, like no choices to be made. New content, written backwards. Yeah, I think this part is
You
just
see,
skip
Stanley,
that
I've been
room.
reflecting on the Stanley
Earlier.
Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Huh?
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
What? The end is
Yes,
never
you
the
see,
end
isn't
again.
this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
And this looks like, oh my god, really looks like the entrance to a company's. I mean, to a company's office. It's a receptionist. Two. Really, nothing's showing, and also, you know, for some reason this computer that looks like a Mac.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
It even says 2 on the carpet. Oh. Pretty empty. Looks like a MacBook, but it's got a bird instead. The back 2 doors. More TSP, better TSP. What is TSP? When sequential might share? Paradigm shift synergy, brake motor approach, envelope client centric marketing. Oh my god. Color red, leverage holistic value. What's holistic? Thanks for attending my meeting. Stanley Parable 2. Different styles of the title. Different fonts and design. Looks like this is as if someone is actually going through the idea. Okay, that's just a presentation. Ah! Okay, no way. Okay, Stanley Parable 2 just has 2 Stanleys.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Eyes, yes, nostrils, arms, legs. Design pitch, Break page design number 2 chant. Oh, this is 427. Oh my god, more different designs. Secrets are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum, City, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Java. What's that? Is that like one of those Disney movie sequels? Dark Souls 2? I think those are great examples. Valuing investors. This way to the show floor. Oh, that's a boss. Can't do anything. This is kind of like a... I don't know. Where, like, for example, new movies got released and there's some kind of special showing of the movie. Jeez.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
But yeah, I think I'm probably finishing the stream after this ending. Jeez. A whole office. A whole new office? It does look slightly more modern, but really not by much. Red is the new orange. Can you update ray trace? More of the same, but in a good way? Merge. Wait. Let's see. For real? Let's see. There's a code. Let me see. Let me try to scan it. Okay. It actually opened something. Let me try open this on my tablet. Welcome to the office. Official website of Stanley Parable? Yeah, do you guys want to see this? No, it's not just a text. They actually have a site for this part. Give me a second. Let me open it on my... Let me just intro this in this, I mean... Okay, I spelled it wrong. Yeah, this one. Because, yeah, that's the same site you get from the QR code. I just heard the noise. Oh yeah, probably like I heard some weird static noise as well. I don't think so though. I'm just checking my phone and I don't see any text. Never mind then. Let's just say what this site has to say. Now in Expo Hall 2. It goes nowhere. Learn more. Huh? Press can't? Soundtrack available now. Oh my god, this is... Wait. Slight audio phone make when someone get a text or phone call? Yeah, I did hear that as well. Just a bunch of random, beeps? I don't know. Sign for news. I think this is the legit website. Yeah.
This is a soundtrack for a video game called The Stanley Parable.
Oh, that's the whole soundtrack. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, this is the legit website instead. Let's go back to the actual one. It's more related to the ending we're on. Stanley Parable 2 a sequel, huh? Watch your helpful and informative video to learn more about the Stanley Parable and what the journey of becoming a sequel is all about.
Say there, Timmy, what's that you're enjoying? Why, it's breakfast, of course. Everyone loves breakfast. But did you know that breakfast is getting a sequel?
You haven't heard
That's
that
right.
noise of over
It's
10
called
years?
Lunch. And
I don't know
critics are
how
raving
that-
that lunch will be
I wonder
everything
if
breakfast
it's
was and more.
part
With
of
a
the
little
game
luck, we
audio?
may even get a trilogy series out of it.
I'm so confused.
Say, you know what a sequel is, don't you, Timmy? Why, sequels are the world's way of clinging helplessly to the past. We all want more of the things we love, and we're all afraid of change, which is what makes sequels so popular. New ideas are dangerous, Timmy, and they can lead to early aging. This eager-minded young thinker is just 29 years old. That's why we have sequels, to keep us couched in the familiar and the comfortable. Sequels are the bedrock of a healthy, functional society. And if you look around you, you'll find them everywhere you go. For instance, this man is developing a sequel to the automobile, which we'll call the vertical automobile. It's a useless...
Oh my god, it's a 9-minute video, seriously. It's because back in the day phones were lower and infrared to send and receive calls and text. Now it uses Wi-Fi. Yeah, it probably really is part of the game audio, because I don't think I have anything that old around me other than this CRT monitor like I'm using right now. So yeah,
impractical
I think more likely game audio than anything else.
invention. And in 2 days' time, the man will be publicly stoned to death for his crimes against gravity.
Oh my god,
Not all sequels
really?
are heretical
Wait, there's no way!
nonsense, however. Here's the man who invented breathing, which is the sequel to suffocating and dying a slow death. Even your parents are getting a sequel, Timmy. Their names are Rob and Jessica, and they'll be taking care of you once your original parents are sent back in time to fight a secret war for the government. Sequels can be very fashionable. This young woman is wearing 5 shirts at once, which is the sequel to wearing 4 shirts at once. Look at Becky over there, wearing only 2 shirts at once. Get with the times, Becky. In fact, there is only one single thing in the world that isn't a sequel. It's this. We don't know what it is or why it exists, but it's the prequel from which all sequels are derived.
Oh my god, what is this device?
And just like everything else, the Stanley Parable is getting a sequel too. We all know, of course, that it was your favorite game as a child. Don't you remember those long, lazy afternoons you spent playing the Stanley Parable? Watching your precious youth fritter away hour after hour. We've all wasted our childhoods in one way or another, and you were fortunate enough to get to waste yours on the Stanley Parable. But the Stanley Parable came out years ago, and you're not a child anymore. You're a man, which is like the sequel to a child. And as a man, you want manly things like taxes and cheating at baseball. You need a man's video game, Timmy. And that's why the Stanley Parable 2 will be perfect for you. It's as manly as video games can get. And if you don't believe me, let's look at the burly hunk of a man who's responsible for the game. Here he is, hard at work. His name is Gregory 8-Pack, and he's the cutting picture of raw, virile masculinity.
Gregory 8-Pack? Yeah, right.
Gregory is
definitely sounds like a real name.
What we call the ideas guy, and he has the most important role on the team. The ideas guy tirelessly comes up with interesting concepts and then hands them off to the rest of the developers for the relatively simple job of turning those concepts into reality. For example, he's the one who picked up the phone and declared, "Someone ought to make a sequel to the Stanley Parable." Good work, Gregory. Go ahead and take the rest of the day off. With the hard part out of the way, work on the game can now begin. The game's developers must answer a simple question. What makes a sequel in the first place? Well, it's simple. Sequels are an opportunity to correct the mistakes of their predecessors. We've all made mistakes, and we've all caused harm to someone we love in order to cover up our mistakes. When developing this particular sequel, it's important to start by thinking, what mistakes did the original Stanley Parable make? Well, first off, most of the pornography in the original game was stolen or pirated, and it's time we paid the licensing fees fair and square. Second, the Stanley Parable was catastrophic for this man named Leroy, whose personal information, including home address, social security number, and bank information, were all displayed prominently in multiple locations throughout the game. Although Leroy's money and identity were stolen, the fact remains that his personal information was the emotional core of the game and absolutely vital to a nuanced understanding of the story. As reparation for the harm we caused him, the sequel will contain a brief and insincere apology to Leroy, tucked deep within the game where it will be difficult to find. Finally, the Stanley Parable made the mistake of leaking too many government secrets about the nature of the Time Wars. Without these intricate details of specific military tactics, the story is likely to make very little sense, but we've decided to remove them from the sequel in the interest of helping the state's efforts. We'll get to you yet, Time Dracula. Now then, it's time to set about constructing the Stanley Parable 2. Game development is a difficult and complex art, one which can only be fully understood by this race of hyper-intelligent child soldiers bred in laboratories. They begin by studying the original Stanley Parable. Here it is in its raw, untouched form, a specimen of technological perfection. Time to exploit it for profit. We begin by adding jokes. The Stanley Parable was most widely known for its stark lack of humor, bucking all conventional industry wisdom. It was a bold artist statement that its developers stood firmly behind. But in 2022, it's impossible to reach even a single consumer of video games without jokes of some kind. So very well, jokes it'll be. During its development, over 500 kiloliters of comedy will be funneled directly into the core of the Stanley Parable 2, creating jobs for hundreds of machine operators and producing 30,000 tons of pollutant chemical byproduct, which will be pumped directly into local lakes, rivers, and beautiful nature reserves like these all over the country. Another common complaint of the Stanley Parable is that there wasn't enough gameplay. And so for the sequel, its developers have gone to great lengths to fix this problem. Here we can see gameplay being printed onto sheets. Every video game contains as many as 1,000 sheets of gameplay, and several of the largest games ever made contain close to 1,500. On mobile devices, the gameplay sheets have to be printed smaller. For the Stanley Parable 2, as many as 35 new gameplay sheets are being printed, each of which must be delicately massaged by the hands of a child before being added into the game. This man is stealing gameplay sheets from the factory, which he likely intends to use for a personal project he's been developing in his spare time. A good public stoning will cure him of that inclination. Let's check on Gregory real quick. Ha! Still recovering from a hard day's work. Don't you move a muscle. Next up, it's time to blackmail the press. In a competitive market, blackmailing your local journalist can be one of the most effective methods of creating word-of-mouth buzz for your sequel. In fact, blackmail is the currency of social progress. From your neighborhood grocer to the teacher at your school to the man who helps you steal HBO, everyone responds to blackmail. And if you've never done it before, it's easy to practice at home on your friends and family. Simply follow the instructional pamphlet that your teacher hands out after the end of the film. And finally, there's one last tool at our disposal for making the sequel feel fresh and exciting, and that's packaging the game with collector's edition merchandise. If you order the Stanley Parable 2, you'll receive this cow's egg. A single egg will produce over 1,000 cows, which are, of course, the sequel to Pigs. And there you have it. Everything there is to know about producing the Stanley Parable 2. Of course, you may know that there is also a game titled The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. So which game is the true sequel to the Stanley Parable? It's an excellent question, Billy. One which the child soldiers have been working round the clock to come up with an answer to. And after many weeks of diligent research, the conclusion they've reached is, who gives a shit? All that matters is that it's more content for you to cram down your insatiable gullet. You don't want thoughtful and nuanced answers to complex questions, Billy. You just want to eat bubble gum and cheat at hopscotch. So get out there and consume. Do your civic duty and bully your parents into buying you every version of the Stanley Parable 2 on every platform. Tell your friends to bully their parents as well. It's through community efforts like these that the world comes together in harmony and connection. And it's only through this connection that we'll defeat Time Dracula once and for all. Don't let the time-traveling vampires win. Buy the Stanley Parable 2 and pledge to support all sequels for today, tomorrow, and into the great unknowable beyond.
Oh my god. In memoriam, Billy, 1953 to 1956. Yeah, I think that's it. That's new. If you're more of a prequel sort of person, check out the Stanley Parable. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of the exhibit. Join the Crow Discord or follow us on Twitter. Oh my god. Okay, and this is the official site again, but yeah, that video was pretty interesting. Oh my god. Like, seriously, like, you could have easily missed that whole thing if you didn't get to, like, scan the QR code. The button says that's the name of the player that is playing the game. Name? No name in the game. Because there's just too many I'm kind of paralyzed by choice. Just way too many. Jump, circle, infinite hole. It's only part of a reassurance bucket. Please, no screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Oh, you have to make a choice. Again. Get well someday. Happy 12th birthday. Stepniece.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, stepniece, it is. Or actually,
Okay.
maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
But yeah, I'll have just finished the stream after I got to another ending. Let's see.
Come now. You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Free new and easy achievement. Man, this place is huge. Time depths. Space like infinity. Distant past. Distant future. Oh my god. Whole entrance infinity. Educational use only. Infinite hole chart. Jeez. It just keeps going.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
I guess most people would want to find out if this is really infinite.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite?
Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oh my god.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley.
I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so
this.
clever. Look,
New
I
mug.
think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually
Oh, I didn't
wants to
realize you
fall
can zoom in.
infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Made at 2 p.m.
Things got a little heated there. I think we
Quotes
both
on
said some
2.
things we didn't mean. Why
cigarette
don't we just
buzz.
put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on.
Just
I'll
two
just be
of
up
us.
here when
We
you're
can
ready.
make it all though. We can make it if we try just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I. Where's that from? Oh yeah, I didn't know you can crouch. That was actually from me crouching. Oh jeez. So the left trigger is actually crouch. But yeah, I guess I don't have a choice but to go back
Great.
up.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
What?
A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you
It
spent
does,
a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
I mean, he knows I'm
Gosh,
gonna do
how
this
could I have
again.
guessed? You're back in the
See,
hole.
most players would do
If this
that.
starts to become a thing where...
Yeah, it really is
Okay.
becoming like...
I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
Yeah,
I
I'm
suspect
doing
that I'm
that.
starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth,
No,
I
I'm
just
not.
can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Huh? It's not working.
Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone.
Oh,
You get to
God.
be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Oh my god, am I really trapped here? Huh? Okay. It's moving down again. What's this dramatic music? Change your perspective? Oh my god, this is Stanley? Oh my god, he looks tedious. Like, those low poly textures just don't work all that well. I mean, low poly model plus low res texture, like, change your perspective. The music changed. There's even more different music. So
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine.
what if these are licensed music? Jeez.
You're no longer using up the space of mine. My head's stronger. You're no.
Sounds like somebody's speaking backwards. How many of these tracks do we have? Okay, let me just press X. Huh? Wait, what? Oh wow, look at this. Change yourself. Wait! 47, what is this? Wow.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland.
That was all a
Can't let that
dream?
stand, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single.
I wasn't.
So how about if I
only
just
tried
pop
the
in from time to
one
time
different
and wake you
model.
up to keep you really truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Huh? Teleport button still doesn't work. Okay, I think I'm back to this part.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Wow. Uh, yeah, I guess. Let me see. I think it's a date now. Okay, it's Saturday for me. I think I can still do another stream before the Destiny 2 new season, but I'm not sure if I will be able to finish it in one stream. And again, doesn't matter too much, like I can do a third stream of this. But yeah, I guess probably that's about it for today. I think that counts as an ending. Oh gosh, that was really something. Are you guys still awake? I'm guessing it's for you guys, for you two in the chat, it's probably getting really late. Anyways, so yeah, hopefully next time I stream, gonna be Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe again, cause seems like there's still quite a lot of new content to go through. Yeah, the player button is cool. Player button? What do you mean? Player button? I just hope, like, I tried some different new model earlier, but yeah, I actually, before I finish the stream, let me go and see what other player models there is. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's this way. Like, I'm getting ready for bed shortly. Yeah, I'm just gonna check that out and we'll finish the stream. Just a little bit curious. Don't want to leave that for next time. Okay, never mind then. They closed the door, so I cannot check it out. Alright then, I guess it's getting late for you guys as well, so I'll just finish the stream and deal with the VODs, cause those I don't even know in how many pieces my VOD is. Jeez, I can't believe I have to give the VPN people more money for this. But yeah, anyways, collectibles. I mean, this version of Stanley looks better than the actual model. Oh. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys have a good night. I'll see you guys again next time with more of this game. I'm sure there's quite a bit of new content left still. But yeah. Hope you guys sleep well if you haven't fallen asleep yet. Anyways, goodbye everyone. See you next time. And thanks for watching.